Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. After uploading my previous comparison video between Snake Poison and Solar Vigor, I received quite a lot of questions in the comments. Many of you were asking why certain skills worked, why some didn't, and whether these inheritance skills were worth unlocking. So instead of replying one by one, I decided to make this follow-up video. Hopefully this will clear up most of the confusion and help you understand how these inheritance skills actually work in practice. Let's start with the basics. First of all, Snake Poison and Solar Vigor follow exactly the same principle. Whenever your skill successfully hits an enemy, the inheritance skill has a chance to generate an additional damage tick. Think of it as a bonus hit that's attached to your original skill. The biggest difference between them is simply the damage calculation. Solar Vigor is designed for physical skill DPS. Snake Poison is designed for magic skill DPS. Everything else works almost identically. The second thing that many people misunderstood is that these inheritance skills only work with skill damage. They do not trigger from normal auto attacks. If you're playing an auto attack build, there's already another inheritance skill designed for that purpose, which is Dupla. Light. That skill specifically provides additional hits for auto attacks, while Solar Vigor and Snake Poison are meant for skill-based characters. Now let's move to some actual testing. On Elinia, Solar Vigor works exactly how I expected. Her main DPS skill, Meteor Concerto, is able to trigger Solar Vigor consistently. You can clearly see the additional yellow damage numbers appearing every time Meteor Concerto lands. However, something interesting happened with Pipi Dragon. Although Pipi Dragon contributes additional damage, those attacks do not trigger Solar Vigor, so only Elinia's own skill damage activates the inheritance skill, while Pipi Dragon's separate damage source doesn't seem to count. That was actually one of the more surprising interactions during testing. The strangest results actually came from Himmelnez. To be honest, I still don't fully understand why it behaves this way. When I tested Solar Vigor and Snake Poison on Himmelnez, I found that the Donut skill and the Wall skill don't trigger the inheritance effect at all, even though those are two of Himmelnez's signature damage skills. Instead, the inheritance skills only seem to activate from Bone Attack and Ground Spike Shield. Why? I honestly don't know. It could be how those skills are coded, or maybe it's intended by the developers. Either way, that's simply what I observed during testing. Another question I received was, what if I unlock both Snake Poison and Solar Vigor? Technically, yes. Both inheritance skills can exist together, but in reality, I don't think it's worth the investment. You're sacrificing a huge amount of dragon deeds just to gain additional low alpha damage. Personally, I'd much rather spend those resources on something like Dolan Trick, which gives much more impact in actual PvP, compared to chasing a few extra damage ticks. I also tested another piece of equipment that people asked me about, the salty dried fish equipment. This equipment also deals true damage based on your ATK and MATK. Whenever your skills hit, on paper, it sounds interesting. But after testing it, I honestly don't think the damage is high enough to justify sacrificing stronger offensive equipment. The additional damage is simply too small compared to what you lose by replacing your current gear. Finally, let's talk about auto attack jobs. For Nameless, Solar Vigor basically doesn't work because almost all of Nameless's damage is calculated as auto attack damage, not skill damage. So if you're building Nameless, I really wouldn't recommend unlocking Solar Vigor just for that character. For Bell, the situation is a little different. Bell still has skills like the Fireball and the Burning area that are technically skill damage, so Solar Vigor can proc from those. However, most Bell builds today focus much more on auto attack magic and physical DPS. So in actual gameplay, the inheritance skill doesn't contribute nearly as much as people might expect. So after all the testing, my conclusion hasn't really changed. If you're playing a physical skill DPS, choose Solar Vigor. If you're playing a magic skill DPS, choose Snake Poison. But I wouldn't recommend unlocking both unless you have plenty of spare resources and simply want to experiment. Hopefully this follow-up video answers the questions many of you had after the previous guide. If you discover any other strange interactions, let me know in the comments. I'd be happy to test them in a future video. Thank you so much for watching and for always supporting the channel. See you guys in the next video.